Hello again, everybody. I do see that only a couple people have seen my last video, which is absolutely fine because these will be here forever just in case, even a year from now or 2 years from now, somebody comes along and finds them. But I wanted to do a quick follow-up from my last video where I talked about my situation, my journey, basically that all the medications that they put me on didn't work or made me worse. So, good news. It is April 28th of 2026. And since my last video, I have seen my electrophysiologist again, and we decided to go to the 100 milligrams of Flecainide twice a day and add a 25 milligram Metoprolol extended release once a day, even though that medicine by itself made my PVCs worse. So I was a little bit nervous about that. But so I started taking the medication on a Thursday night. That first dose, I just kept pumping away. Fast forward to Friday. So I call Friday day 2, even though it's really just the first full day. But all of Friday, no change. I took 100 milligrams 2 different times that day. I took the 25 milligrams of metoprolol. No change at all. And so I was immediately discouraged because, if you read around, I guess the medicine itself in some people will start working in an hour, like the Flecainide. Some people say they were in Gemini. They get a bolus or like a dose of 100 milligrams of Flecainide, and within an hour, they're in normal sinus rhythm with no PVC. So I was discouraged about that, thinking, once again, like most medications in my life, I just don't usually respond to them. If it's supposed to make me feel this way or that way, it doesn't. It usually makes me feel worse. I just have one of those bodies that hates medication, and that's why I try to avoid it. But of course, being so desperate with PVCs, as you all know, you can't give up on trying medications because it's insane. So nothing at all that Friday. Saturday rolls around, and I feel like, oh, maybe I have less today. I felt pretty good. I continued taking my dosing of the new Flecainide, 100 milligrams, etc. So I was like, I'm pretty sure that I had a lot less on Saturday, but I didn't, I have good days and bad days, even without medication. So I was like, oh, it's probably one of my good days, because it's going to be a false reassurance that, hey, it's actually working now. And so I didn't think too much of it. I was just like, oh, it's probably just having a good day. Well, fast forward to Sunday, I guess, so it would be technically my third full day, or kind of the third and a half day. And I had like 20 PVCs all day. And I was like, that stopped me in my tracks. And I was like, oh, I think we're onto something here, because I don't ever have just 20. So I continued the medication. And the following day, I guess, so that would be Monday now, I had like 5. And then the next day I had like 5. And then the next day I had like 3. Long story short, I am responding to Flecainide 100 milligrams twice a day with a 25 milligram extended release metoprolol with the first dose. Like, I guess when I wake up. I'm a night shifter, so it's a weird hours for me, but I have been amazing since starting this 100 milligrams. Excuse me, the mental side of me has come back. Like, the positive mental side has come back. I'm not scared. I'm not distraught. I'm not whatever, because yesterday I had zero PVCs. It reminds me of what it was like just 8 months ago when, right before these all started. And what a great feeling. Today, I've had 1 so far. It's almost 4 p.m. Local to me. And, I get up late because I work nights. So I've only been up for 4 hours, maybe out of bed. Well, awake longer, but so in 4 hours, I've had one. I will continue on this medication. My doctor says, or told me at my last appointment, that if in fact I got meaningful relief, that he likes to keep me on this up for about 12 months, as is, and then try to wean me off and just see what happens. Some people, they stay having 0 to just 1 or 2. Some people, they come right back. He said if they come right back, we go back on the medication. But I also at that time would probably be willing or wanting to maybe repeat the Holter without the medication to see if the burden is high enough at that point to maybe consider, a possible permanent fix with ablation. But for the time being, Flecainide is a godsend. I am so happy that I got over the scary hurdle of, because I was on the fence of whether or not I wanted to try it initially, just because of the quote unquote black box. But I just reassured myself that they did all the tests necessary to make sure my heart is healthy, so that, I'm in a very low risk category for any proarrhythmias or any detrimental side effects. So that's where I am. Most days averaging 1 to 5 PVCs. That's it. They don't bother me when they hit now, because I know that it's only going to be a couple and then they disappear. This is what I want for everybody that's struggling with PVCs. I want everybody to find that relief, that medication that works for them. I mean, some people have said metoprolol works wonders for them. Diltiazem works wonders for them. I mean, there's all kinds of other ones that I'm not as familiar with, but those are seem like the 2 gold standard ones they start you on. Beta blocker and then calcium channel blocker. A lot of people find relief, and that's awesome, because they're not super hard on your body, from what I understand, at least not compared to Flecainide. So that's where I stand, and I know that in my last video, again, I know nobody's really seen it yet, and that's fine. I don't have followers on here. I don't make content to try to get people to watch my ugly face. I'm just doing these as my journey, my situation, my experience with something that has affected my life so terribly. So I'm happy. I'm happy to make this video. I will report back if anything changed. Like if it goes back to a horrible situation, I'll report back. I'll explain what I did or what didn't do or what happened. Just so if anyone wants to follow the story, I'll give you the truth of anything that happened. The one thing that I'll add is I have noticed now, I did not notice this before, because I did cut out alcohol for not that it's hard, but for 2 weeks I didn't have a drop of alcohol or caffeine, to try to figure out if that was a, God help me, I can't think of the word, if that was a trigger. And at that time, no, I had just as many PVCs, when I had 0 alcohol, 0 caffeine, when I was taking magnesium, potassium, vitamin D3, K2 supplements, etc. But now that I'm on this medication and I have gotten myself to almost no PVCs, if I do have a couple of drinks, it is definitely I get breakthrough PVCs. So that to me is obvious that alcohol for me personally is a trigger, in fact. Because they're still not bad. I think, the last time I had several drinks over the weekend with family, cookout, stuff like that, I probably had about 30 PVCs over the course of many, many hours. So in the grand scheme of things, it still allows me to be social or a social drinker with family and friends and still not, lose my shit. Because it's like, if I got 3,000 from drinking a beer, I'm not going to drink a beer. But if I can have several drinks over the course of a day and get 30, then I'll still be social and, enjoy with family and friends. So that's where I am. I will, aside from this, I also, several years ago, was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder called Guillain-Barré syndrome that I will likely be making video or 2 on to try to tell people my experience and how I got it, which was a 1 in a million shot, literally, statistically. But I'll go into that if anyone has any interest for that kind of thing. Probably in the next couple of weeks, I'll try to sit down and figure out how to do a quick video on, what happened to me and what I experienced and where I am today and stuff like that. So, but as far as PVCs, we're doing great. I'm thinking clear at work again. Remember, I'm a 911 dispatcher. Like, I can focus again. I can focus on my daughter. I can focus on my fiance. With a smile and be the dad and be the significant other again that I want to be to those folks, instead of sitting around just feeling like I'm dead or dying. It was horrible. So I wish you all the same best. I wish you guys, everybody, to find, whether you have AFib, SVT, PVCs, PACs, all those things. I hope every one of us, find what works for us and gets meaningful relief, so we can return to our lives. Life is short. We don't need this crap. We didn't ask for this crap. And a lot of us, in my opinion, probably do not deserve this crap. So I wish you all the best. Thank you for checking in for the second video. Whenever you find this, hopefully, I'm so sorry. If you leave a comment or anything, hopefully I'll get a notification. I'm happy to correspond with anybody or answer any questions you might have. So, and again, as usual, I apologize for not looking right at you. I look away a lot because I'm not used to doing this. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you're all good. I hope you're all healthy, and I hope this video finds you well.